Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing well. I'm having a pretty good day, not bad. You might hear some pounding. Doug's working on that Dodge truck out in the front and little girls screaming in the back. Nothing's really bothering me. It takes a lot to faze me. I don't care. You know, if I were like still studying to try and make a living to have a better job or something like that, and that then it might get frustrating, but then I'd probably do like I had to do, drive off in my car and just think about things before I had something stressful like a test or whatever. It's like, yeah, working through this stress, um, totally sober, you know, just drive off and chill for a while and have my own time. And I don't like to have to do that in my life. It's like when I feel like I got to drive out of my own place for peace. Yeah, hasn't been too bad for a couple days, but uh, mm, day's not over yet. Such is life. I was gonna tell. I watched the Dark Side podcast by Bruce Cecil, and I'm going to go and grab that and share the link because I'll tell you about my experience with it. Because, like I've told you, I've studied all religions, obviously, um, all of them. I just found out that you can't make light out of dark. You know, it is what it is. You can't sugarcoat it and butter it up like a pretty buttered piece of bread, fresh bread with butter on it, but it's poison in the middle. Just no matter how good that bread smells, it's poison. So at least it's gonna be if they get their way with what they want to sell us in the future. So just a minute, I'm gonna light a cigarette. I think I was probably 10 or preteen or somewhere around in there. So it was in 68 or thereabouts. My adoptive mom, an actual witch, gave me a Ouija board. No, but at this point, I'm still brain dead on everything except for the fact that something wasn't right with the people I was living around. Whew, putting it mildly. So, like, even years later, so my friend Patty and I were playing Ouija board, and um, it said to me, I think I'm about probably 14 at this time, at this one time in particular. Um, every single name was accurate for what I'm going to describe, and every child, no matter what I thought at my life, at that time in my life, I was not going to have any kids. I definitely wasn't going to get married because I was so independent. Nobody, nothing was going to hold me down and set me back from the goals that I had in life. And one of them wasn't being a stupid fool for any man because of everything that I had seen on the planet up until that point. So I went into my young adult life thinking I was never going to have a family at all, which actually kind of ended up being true. But okay, so the Ouija board told me that I was going to have three husbands, or I'd be married three times. And I'm thinking, lying piece of shit of a thing. Then it said that I was going to have three children. I go, okay. My friend and I are laughing, and I'm like, there is no way, no way. I'm not. I mean, I even worked around at that time in my life around nursery kids' schools for a woman named Mrs. Fields. She owned a nursery school, and I was her helper. And especially on Fridays, she liked me there because it was pool time and I could help with the kids and then swim free, you know. So, um, okay, well, anyway, back to the Ouija board. So this thing is telling me Merlin and Zach and Doug and two boys and a girl. And even later in years, and I threw it away. After that, it's like, this is bullshit because I'm not even going to get married into the burn pile or wherever, you know? And then, even after I had my two sons, both the same father, it's because I had a marriage annulled from getting married at 17 to an older man, 20 years my senior. So, actually, our families even knew each other, but there was younger kids and older kids to that same family, 18 children and two sets of twins. So, me actually knowing all of their families at different stages, you know, and my parents knew his brother and some other of their family too. So it's like, so it wasn't unfamiliar what I thought. No, not unfamiliar. Just he was an ex-cop. He was in the Korean War in prison for 2.5 years. He had jumped into that country. It was kind of stupid if you're gonna jump into enemy territory. Shit might happen, right? But he's a German interpreter and full-blooded Norwegian. They called him Swede, but his name was Merlin. Go figure. Weird mother. Okay, and then there was Zach, and I met him when I was like just turned 18, maybe a month or two. I saw him when I was 17, met him when I was 18, and then we were together for almost 13 years. 5.5 years we didn't have any children. So even after I had my two sons, I was thinking, well, I'm not having any more kids. So, and he had a vasectomy. I talked him into it. It's like, because he was, I knew he was unfaithful. So I said, you just go get a vasectomy. And he's like, well, what about you? And I go, well, obviously, stupid. If I get pregnant, you'll know, you know. See, that kind of covers all that. So, and then I figured it was better if the world didn't have any more of them things. So, and that's really true too. So, and then later I met Doug and he had a daughter. So I have a stepdaughter. So my Ouija board did come true right down to their names. Right down to their names. So I can't tell you anything more than that. I mean, I can tell you a lot of things. I mean, like my friends and I had a seance bringing Jimi Hendrix back at a Catholic girls' school in our dining room. What a place to have a seance, huh? And there was a church attached to it. In our cottages, we had underground tunnels and underground schoolrooms and an underground cafeteria in this creepy um, home of the Good Shepherd with our church right there and everything. And it was very creepy. But my friend Mickey and I, Michelle, killed herself because a woman lied about her to her dad. True story. My best friend, but we used to roller skate through those tunnels and there would be like pipe music on, or we'd put like a radio down there in one of the rooms, roller skate down the ramps and get into a room and grab arms and swing each other in circles on our roller skates, you know, and just fun shit. I even got to, I don't know if you're familiar with when it was the dome, the Vikings dome in what the heck was that thing called? Where they had their football before the new one was built. But I keep thinking Astrodome because I've been there too. But anyway, it might come to me. I roller skated in that thing too on all those concrete ramps and stuff. Shit, must have been in about 74 or something like that. That was really fun. That was cool. Yeah. Wide open concrete, especially going down hills. They were ramps that you walked down, instead of stairs. They were just wide open like a street on the inside, and they'd curve, and it's really cool. So yeah. So I'm not having a too bad of a day. It's just kind of hanging around. Slow weekend. I think I'm gonna have hot dogs for supper, something really easy. Maybe chop up some veggies or something to put on it. And, you know, I don't know. Today is Bob's birthday. Doug's cat, Robert. He's 13 today. So, and then a month after he was born, his mom died Halloween weekend, had her leg chewed off on Halloween that year, and came home bloody. It was on a Sunday, bloody, bloody Sunday. And Halloween never brings me any cheer, but this one was about the worst thing you could have ever seen in your whole life. And there were no veterinarian hospitals open, and Doug had to put down his cat. I had tamed this cat from the outside from the ones that are still around here. There's and this morning I got to pet Puma, one of the indoor one I have now that I brought in, that broken Nellie Bly I called her. Puma, I got to pet Puma now for this last week pretty much every day. So she was always kind of a little spooky. It took me. She'll be let's see, her mom is 3. She's like not even 2. In the spring she'll be 2. And she's had 2 sets of kids out there already. So it's a rough life. Glad I'm not a cat. Cheers. Here's to you. A good life to you all. Bruce sees all said, well, looks like I'm getting younger immortality pills. Ha ha ha. Really kind of eating a little better. And when I first got on here too, I'm not though. I have my good and bad days. But when I first got on here, I was all busted up and healing from stuff too. So, um, yeah. So, okay, thank you. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video, but thank you. Cookie doke. Okay. Will you look for a Hershey bar? He did, he didn't hear me. He might anyway. Tele Telepathy. He said starting to rain, but that's another thing I was gonna talk about in a minute. But there was something else that, yeah, looking like that, eating a little better, exercising. But I always had this young old look about me. I have a video with some of my like even pictures from 9 on down, pretty much always had blonde hair, even white. That year when I was 9 years old, that summer, it bleached completely out. But it'll turn like redder and redder in the sun and then eventually just whitish. Kind of, cause I have a lot of blonde in the back too. And kind of, I think it's on my right side. Well, I have a little streak of blonde and a little streak on my right side too. But there's more on one side than the other. So, and a lot of kind of red in there too. So like individual and some black in the back. That's almost just like Native American hair. So I got like, or I could call it like Scottish, like curly, um, Irish type, curly Scottish type, you know, I think when I'm tired, I look kind of Irish and Scottish, and when I'm feeling good, I look more Native or Polynesian, and when I'm pissed, I really look Czech and German, and depending maybe Dutch if I'm kind of happy, maybe some of the um, Spanish influence, dark Irish might kind of be a little jovial, and I got a lot of bloodlines in me, so I have different kind of looks that go along with all those the genome of my heritages. It's like getting in touch with in French quite a bit, in English I say Welsh, and oh, there's more I know, but that's what a mud. Ah, truly something. Danish. No, I didn't say Danish. I have. I know there's more too. Yeah, enough's enough, I think. That's plenty anyway. Yeah. Okay. On and if I get cut off, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Talking about um what would be like divine providence, or um what people would call supernatural visions or psychic abilities, or even telekinetics or electronics, or being a thyroidal battery, or however you're thinking, and what is actually true with the energy on this planet. It is a gift. We're gifted from one spirit or the other spirit, and how we walk as human beings are the visions we're given for those reasons, from our Father, whether it's the Father of lies or the Father of the truth. You know, that's something they all got to work out among themselves, because I'm not going to play with their minions and their babies. You come against me, and I do want to chop your head off. Not naming any names in particular, but I'm not playing with these fools. Um, that's the way that is. Anyway, you know what Bruce Lee said? It's more dangerous to go up against somebody that has practiced one kick 10,000 times than it is somebody that's practiced 10,000 kicks. That's just a little food for thought for you younger people. you know, it's the truth too. When somebody's really good at something, that's what they do, you know, and that's why they're in places they're at for those reasons. I'm almost certain of it, you know? Yeah. So, so what I'm trying to say is I have to keep um virile in that respect, you know, because I'm a warrior like that, and I'm not gonna ever let somebody take care of me ever in my life. No fucking way. Um, Only as far as maybe having a lot of friends and socializing in my future more than I do right now. Because I did a lot when I was younger. I mean, a lot. I traveled. I was like always busy. If I wasn't busy, I was reading or studying or practicing my flute or whatever the case may be. Um, Learning how to knit or crochet or so, whatever. I do a lot of things. So, well, I can solder too. I really do a lot of things. I do whatever it takes. That comes from the Jesuit Master Mason, 3 time over Grand Master, Mr. Smarty, and he was a very intelligent man, kind of cruel, murderous, um, creepy, kind of on the pedophilia side, but not with me. I think they tried that shit when they were little with me, and something happened. Maybe I was screaming or I don't know, but it seemed like they were weird with other people, but not as weird with me. Like they had a line with me they couldn't cross because they made me cross. Um, and that's true. People knew me when I was a tiny thing. God saved me so many times. There's no way I would deny God. Not ever, ever. That spirit, that energy from our Father put here um, through his son, not actually in him at this moment, but for people that got that part, whatever the names have been changed to protect the innocent or the horribly guilty and stupid, whichever, whatever category that falls in for your understanding, I'm cool with that. Hope you are too. Because I'm not out here to try and insult or hurt anybody. That's not the way my personality is at all. I mean, if you're mean to me, yeah, well, can't expect miracles after that because that's like people um they like my video yesterday. Are you double minded? And it is about valent no, what's the word, viable question. There's another word I was searching for. Good enough. Uh, because it's people that are, um, if God says no, it's no, and they don't want to believe it's no, they still want to make up their own rules for what is acceptable within. I don't call it confines, I call it the laws that people need to live a healthy life. If they don't want